unveiling the top 10 countries of origin for illegal immigration in the US. It's a traveler's perspective on these complex and often tumultuous destinations. Stay tuned as we explore these distressed, but in many cases, beautiful nations. Mexico stands at the forefront of this cycle of illegal immigration with a high tally of border encounters. The motive driving these individuals is the pursuit of improved living conditions, the attraction of work opportunities, and the aspiration to join family already in the USA. Yet there's another aspect, a grimmer one. Drug smuggling, controlled by the cartels that use violence as a tool to avoid criminal prosecution, control the population, and eliminate any competition. This leads to government corruption and instability, which significantly increases the number of undocumented immigrants in the USA. Such factors and their subsequent effects have a far-reaching impact globally. Despite the complexity of the situation, it's important to highlight these issues to uncover the unseen struggles of these displaced individuals. In the shadow of Mexico's immense population, Honduras gives us an insight into a nation grappling with economic and social collapse. This small country is experiencing a significant rise in border conflicts, drug violence, extreme poverty, and other issues that are contributing to the swell of migrants in search of safety and a decent place to live. Political instability is also a factor compelling many families to leave Honduras. In some cases, it's truly a matter of life over death. In fact, Honduras has one of the highest homicide rates in the world, with pervasive drug and gang-related activities posing serious threats to public safety. This already dire situation is exacerbated by inadequate infrastructure, which makes it even harder for its citizens. It's important to note that the driving force isn't merely for survival. Like people living in many countries south of the US border, the promise of better economic prospects is a significant motivator. Hondurans are not all fleeing danger, but in many cases, simply pursuing the idea of the American dream. One can't blame them for wanting to secure a better future for themselves and their families. Unfortunately, there are many individuals out there ready to take advantage and exploit them along their northern trek, but that's a discussion best left to other videos. As we delve deeper into the roots of migration, we cannot overlook Guatemala. In recent years, a staggering number of Guatemalans, approximately 700,000, have made the perilous journey to reach the US border. This mass migration is a testament to the hardships faced in their homeland. Guatemala's rural areas, reliant on agriculture, grapple with severe droughts and high crime, which further exacerbate the situation. Approximately 30% of the workforce is employed in the farming industry. Key agricultural products include coffee, bananas, and sugarcane. Those frequent and severe droughts pose a significant challenge for farmers. Crop failures, food shortages, and economic hardships make life even worse for rural communities. These seemingly hopeless living conditions push more people to undertake the risky migration. Yet it isn't just about escape. Many Guatemalans are compelled to seek better prospects abroad due to limited opportunities at home. They embark on this pursuit, hoping to secure a brighter, safer future for themselves and their families. It's a sometimes futile quest, as many are enticed with false promises and lose what little money they have to human traffickers that have no intention of fulfilling their end of the deal. Following our exploration of the Guatemalan exodus, let's shift our focus to Venezuela. Between 2020 and 2023, roughly 445,000 Venezuelans fled their native land. The reason for this mass migration is rooted in the nation's economic downfall, amplified by plummeting oil prices and political disputes. Venezuela, once a prospering oil-rich nation, has fallen into a state of crisis that has driven its citizens towards desperation. The aspiration for a brighter future is not the sole motivator behind this migration. A person's survival instinct often amplifies the urgency of escaping the situation. The country's economic woes, characterized by hyperinflation and pervasive poverty, worsen the crime circumstances as inhabitants grapple with fulfilling their basic necessities. Venezuela now carries the burden of being among the countries with the highest murder rates globally. As we delve deeper into Latin America's migration crisis, we pivot to Cuba. It all started when Fidel Castro and his revolutionary forces, including Ernesto Che Guevara, successfully overthrew the Cuban government led by Fulgencio Batista in 1959. This event marked the beginning of communist rule in Cuba. Between 2020 and 2023, a staggering 442,000 border encounters were reported involving Cubans. This type of migration isn't new and has been going on since the early to mid-1900s. One of the most significant changes is when Cuba adopted a Marxist-Leninist ideology under Fidel Castro's leadership. It aligned itself with the Soviet bloc during the Cold War. The Cuban Communist Party became the sole legal political party, and Cuba followed a centrally planned economy. These radical political ideologies and failing socialist policies have resulted in an all-out economic meltdown. With inflation skyrocketing, Cuba's economy is in a constant state of collapse. A perpetually fluctuating peso is causing goods to be unaffordable. Added to this, political repression and violation of basic freedoms have worsened the situation. Such dire conditions have forced Cubans to risk a perilous land journey through Nicaragua, instead of usual routes via the Caribbean Ocean. As we continue to explore these stories, the common underlying factors that contribute to these mass migrations start to emerge. We can't disregard El Salvador, a Northern Triangle country. It shares the same fate as its neighbors, witnessing a surge in emigration, primarily to the United States. The reasons behind this mass exodus are multifaceted and complex. El Salvador endured a brutal civil war that lasted from 1980 to 1992. The conflict led to widespread destruction of infrastructure, loss of life, and displacement of people. The war left the country with long-term social and economic scars. It is estimated that nearly 700,000 Salvadorans reside illegally in the US, a staggering number, but it's crucial to understand that this isn't a recent development. For years, Salvadorans have been fleeing their homeland in a desperate bid to escape the harsh violence and seek a more stable lifestyle. El Salvador's economy has been heavily reliant on a few sectors, such as agriculture, manufacturing, and services. A lack of economic diversification can make the country susceptible to external shocks and limit opportunities for sustainable growth. The government has made efforts to attract foreign investment and promote economic development in recent years, but overcoming these challenges remains a complex and ongoing process. We turn our attention to Brazil's situation, which cannot be ignored. Brazil, a nation known for its vibrant culture and rich resources, grapples with serious political and social issues. These challenges include an unstable economy, high crime rates, and government policies pushing Brazilians to embark on a perilous journey to live in other countries. The number of illegal Brazilian immigrants has significantly increased over time. Corruption scandals and political instability have plagued Brazil's government and institutions. These issues have undermined public trust, hindered economic reforms, and deterred foreign investment. This difficult situation in Brazil has triggered a large-scale departure, with people risking it all for any chance at a better future. As we delve deeper into the complexities of illegal immigration, we travel to Haiti. This nation is located on the western portion of the island of Hispaniola in the Caribbean Sea. It shares this landmass with the Dominican Republic and has been dealing with numerous challenges, like natural disasters and political instability. These harsh conditions have led citizens to flee the island by embarking on a perilous journey, similar to that taken by other immigrants through South America. Many others choose the perilous sail across the sea, aiming for the United States. The number of illegal Haitian immigrants has spiked over time. They brave dangerous lands and sea in hopes of escaping their homeland. As we continue our exploration of global migration patterns, let's turn our attention to the Dominican Republic. It shares the same landmass with Haiti and is situated on the eastern part of the island. It's a Caribbean nation with a unique migration tale. Economic hardship pushes residents to seek improved lives elsewhere. Dominican Republican migrants have been known to embark on perilous Northwest Sea journeys using small boats and often overcrowded vessels. Some attempt to reach US territories like Florida or Puerto Rico. These journeys are fraught with treacherous situations, including the danger of capsizing, exposure to harsh weather, and encounters with law enforcement. These serious risks do not seem to deter them from making this very dangerous voyage. Some Dominican Republic migrants travel overland through Central American countries and Mexico to reach the US-Mexico border. They may enter countries like Brazil, Ecuador, or Chile. There, they often receive temporary visas or travel without proper documentation before continuing northward. This Dominican story illuminates the complex issue of illegal immigration. The quest for the basic needs of food, clothing, and shelter, and more stable living conditions, is a universal human aspiration. And it's this powerful drive that propels individuals to make such life-altering decisions. Finally, we land in the Central American nation of Nicaragua. This country, with a significant 339,119 border encounters during our study, experiences unique challenges. The political landscape has deteriorated, leading to an increase in authoritarian rule under their president. The Sandinista National Liberation Front, a leftist revolutionary group, led a popular uprising against the authoritarian regime of Anastasio Somoza Debayle. This revolution, known as the Sandinista Revolution, aimed to overthrow the Somoza dynasty, which had ruled Nicaragua for several decades, with the support of the United States. In 1984, Nicaragua held its first post-revolutionary presidential elections. Although Daniel Ortega won, his candidacy was criticized by some for not meeting international standards of fairness. A controversial political system, along with many natural disasters, has resulted in mass poverty and a continuous exodus of its people. This tale of Nicaraguan migration is a stark reminder of how many factors cascading upon each other can drive people to undertake desperate measures in pursuit of greener pastures. Thank you for tuning in with us. If you found this information informative and engaging, we kindly ask you to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Don't forget to join us again as we delve into more compelling topics.